Tired. Just got off on my way home. I just want to say this. First of all, I'm just like I said, I'm not on here to complain or whatever. Just kind of on here venting, and then in the midst of venting, sometimes I get like a message or whatever, or I just want to share something. But I just want to say this. First of all, when I say somebody is delusional or something like that, and the person I'm talking to knows who I'm talking to, if somebody's on their platform that's a reader and telling me that somebody said that if somebody is on their platform and said that I'm a hermit, which I am, and I don't associate with anybody. I'm an introvert unless I'm at work, and they're telling me that somebody is lying, talking about I have people in my house. Why would I call a reader that's a psychic delusional unless she lying or whatever? The only thing I'm talking about, the person who's sitting up there lying, talking about the only person would purposely say that I have people out of my house or whatever, purposely say that, and they know the truth, is if they're delusional. Either they're seeing something in their head and they think they see it and they really don't see it, or just in general, I don't even think that. I think people just like to lie. What I've come to find is that when people elevate or whatever, and they're very, very humble or whatever, and it's like, especially people that can stand in their truth, when people can't find nothing on you, it's like they'll go back in your past, and they'll tend to bring stuff up, and more than likely they'll just lie or whatever. I don't like, and I'm talking about something different now. I already addressed the delusional stuff or whatever, because I was talking about whoever said that or whatever and made that up, who stay over there by me or whatever. That's a delusional person or somebody that's just a liar. So we'll just say it. But it's just like, okay, number one, when you mess with tarot readings and stuff like that, when you mess with tarot readers, now I don't mess with the cards, but because I don't know how to do them or nothing. But I'm a psychic too, intuitive psychic. But when you go to readers and you're going on a constant basis, if for a long time I was doing it, when you go to readers, it's like they're calling out stuff that people are doing. This is going in. So if they're calling out stuff people in the background, and then you living your life in a way that's godly or whatever, it's like how can you constantly upload tarot readers talking about the divine masculine doing this, which I'm sorry, the karmic masculine, whatever, that's old, he doing this, or this person working, you show your family it is, and then you sitting up there doing stuff in the background. So that doesn't even make any type of sense, because they're gonna call it out no matter who you are. So that's why I try to live my life, and then try to do more and more study. Is this wrong? What is this really? And blah 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 blah. So I try to live my life in a righteous way. So we'll just say that. Oh, I hate when they do that. Anyway, but what was I finna say? That noise just caught me off guard. That's what they used to do by my house. I thought that was a motorcycle. They used to do that like by my house, that noise, and I'd be inside, and that's what it sounded like, real loud, back and forth, back and forth. Anyway, but yeah, so what I found is that when people can't really find nothing on you, it's like they want to make stuff up. They have to put something on you or whatever. And you have to realize the karma behind it. It's like, that's why I always tell people, when you mess with certain people or whatever, your karma is bad. When you mess with pure-hearted people, good-hearted people, people that are in God's favor, karma comes back on you. One thing I just want to say about this, it's kind of like, and this is what I found myself doing. Through several readings and stuff and research on who I am, a high yoga, a starseed, an indigo child, earth angel, stuff that I've read and research. And then I put other information on so people can just know more about me. And then other empaths who kind of act like me, they can look at them and be like, hey, I thought that too. Just like when I read about starseeds, it says you start always look up to the sky. You don't really know what you're looking up for, but you just look up to the sky long just to leave this place. And I used to always do that when I was younger. So when I read somebody else that wrote that, which meant a starseed had to have wrote that or knows about starseeds in order to have wrote that in depth like that, and mastered and found out who they are. So when I read that, I'm like, well, okay, that's me too. Somebody else can read it and they may be a starseed or something. So just information like that. What I found that people like to do, arrogant people who call me arrogant and know that I'm humble, they like to keep on doing stuff like, for example, with the magic, when they constantly retracting the views and then making it seem like nobody's listening or the likes, and which you guys can clearly see the magic being shown, which now you can see that I'm not crazy. Which if you think that still, or you're entitled to think whatever you want. But as long as I know the truth, and the Most High know the truth, and the universe knows the truth, that's all that matters. Because at the end, whatever's done in the dark will be brought to the light. So we'll just say that. But it's just kind of like, when I'm online talking about I'm a star seed, people they'll look at that. You choose to take that as if I'm being arrogant. You choose that's an insecurity that a person has because the way I am, it's like when people keep on saying and throwing shots, it'll start making you think, wait, something's wrong with me, and that's the way it's always been my whole life. That's why I don't really like opening up to people. If you've been watching me from the very beginning, since I first started my Facebook page, you will see several people I've shared. They said this first. They made this video. I'm sure if people click on that video, yeah, they'll go to my Facebook page, but they're clicking on your. That's another view for you. That's another look for you. So that's what I'm saying. People just do like real silly stuff, and it don't really be too many truthers that do it. It just be a lot of, but it could be just other people in the same field. But I don't compete with people. I don't even understand why people compete or whatever. To me, it's enough room for everybody. But when people keep on doing it, I find myself being like, well, I don't know what people are trying to, I'm not, and it's like I'm lowering myself and lowering myself. Not saying I'm lowering myself to people's level or whatever, but in a way, it is kind of like that because it's like I know who I am. I know who I am in God. I know who my Father is. I know I'm a chosen one. I know that I'm alien to this world, as we can say. In a human body, my soul is different. People can see, and other people who are chosen, you can totally see that I'm not normal. A Hayoka is somebody who acts totally different than regular humans. So it's just like I find myself what I come to realize is that when you have a mission to do down here and you're a chosen one, anybody that causes you to doubt yourself, you got to stay away from them. Anybody that causes you to feel like, well, maybe no, because I know good and darn well it can make you question your character when you're around silly demonic people or whatever, and it's just people that constantly poke, and it's like, well, is it me? No, it's not. It's like in general, I know it's not me because I know I'm a good person or whatever, but it's like people they want to have a problem with you. They want to poke at you. It's like because it's like an insecurity. I mean, it's like insecurity in them that just. It's something about your spirit that bothers them. And the only way that a person can be bothered by a person with a godly spirit, hold on, is if they have a demonic spirit in them or whatever. So that's the only way that would kind of make sense to me or whatever. I'm not stuck up, and I'm kind of past the point of. I'm kind of past the point of people trying to prove there ain't nothing wrong with me or all this other stuff. Think what you want to think. If I could stay single for the rest of my life and chill by myself, I'm fine. As you can see, as I've been by myself and isolated, I keep advancing. I'm able to study more, focus more, concentrate more. I can't have nobody around me that's not like an empath or another earth angel. And like I said before, that video, that guy irritated me yesterday, just coming up to me saying silly stuff. That's how it's always been my whole life. People, they just do stuff like that. It's like I had a boyfriend or whatever for a long time, and he had a cousin, and we used to always chill together or whatever. And he was a Muslim or whatever, but one of them hood Muslims. You know those Muslims that don't be clothed in not the real Muslims, but like the hood Muslims. They just claim that's their religion and they just hood or whatever. So I'm not even gonna get into that because that's on him. I'm just saying from what I seen, from openly what I said. I don't know what he did behind closed doors, but we be chilling and he just be sitting up. And sometimes I feel like people, because I'm real nice or whatever, and empaths, we have a tendency to make people feel very comfortable around us, and we have a very passive spirit or whatever. So when I interact with people, I'm very quiet or whatever, especially around big group settings. Very, very quiet. Not awkwardly quiet, but just quiet. And so when we would chill or whatever, I feel like sometimes people, they don't really know me, so they feel like comfortable just telling me anything. And we chill, and he'd be like, man, this is years ago or whatever, and he'd be like, I don't like girls that wear weave or whatever. And this just my thing. And the nice person in me just be like, oh yeah, not say nothing. But if I go in the empath rage, which means it catch me on the wrong day, or if somebody it has to build up, I'll be like, why the F are you telling me that, and you see I have weave in my head? That's like, and he had a bald head. That's like me saying shoot. And I'm with my boyfriend. I'm telling him I don't like niggas to shave their head bald or whatever, which I don't have a problem with it or whatever. That's not, even when I put that post up yesterday, I was just making a point or whatever. If you want to be so Bible fact based, then go by this too. But it's like people just do stuff, and it bothers me on a different type of level. And I've always been like that, where an average person kind of look at something and be like, no big deal, or just shook it up, and it'll bother me on a whole another level because as a Hayoka, as a mirror, I reflect back to people out there. I'm like, would you really? if somebody, because if I say something offensive to somebody and just look at their appearance and say it to them, just straight up don't know them, just say something like that, and if they get offended, then that means that you're an evil person because you have a clear understanding that that was offensive, but yet you decided to do it anyway. Because it's like to me, it's like those women that be like, and you know, them Jezebel spirit women, they don't have nothing to do with race. Just them Jezebel spirits, and I'm all that, and just whether they are that or not. People don't really try people like that. That's what really irritates me. I feel like they be trying people like that they feel like I'm saying them back. I don't like people like that. I don't like living in a world where people just do stuff and nobody's perfect, but it's just when you know the energy of a person, but yet you still choose to be, you know, just rude or disrespectful. It just irritates me on a whole nother level. So I just said it, but yeah, I'm through. I'm not. I don't want to keep on. The more I try to worry about what people think, and even people that say I post too much, stop watching this. I don't go to. It's certain people that be saying silly stuff, and I'll go to cross watching sometimes. Not the cancer cross watching, just different cross watches or whatever. Of it just different people. I just said it, and you know when a cross watcher reading is like you're reading somebody else's situation, but it's somebody else, and they'll say stuff in the reading. I know the person, a certain particular person that's watching or something, and they'll say something in reading like, just say how silly people are. Like, oh, this person isn't stupid or whatever. Trust me, they're not. It is like people, they do there's certain things that people do on their platform. Like they may be real overly goofy or play with objects or dolls or toys. And it's like when I look at that, I don't roll my eyes and be like, oh, she's freaking stupid or whatever. She's a grown adult doing it. That's childish. I think it's cute and funny or whatever. So I don't understand why people come to my platform and I'm here through readings they saying it's just like that's what I'm saying. If it's my platform, my diary, if I want to post something every second, I'll post it. If I want to post something every minute, I'll post it. And people can feel any type of way about it, but you gotta ask yourself why you watching every post or whatever. If you think I posted too much, come back every other day or once in the morning and once at night and then read it. That's what I'm saying. People just be doing silly stuff. I just don't. The only way I see people doing it, especially based on the information I'm writing, is if it's some form of insecurity or jealousy in you. Because there's nobody I go to their platform. It's certain readers or whatever that I look at and I wish they would post more or whatever because I feel like their content is interesting. Or truthers that I feel like, man, they can't post more videos. That's why I'll give advice like video maker or something like that like on my other video about how to make your videos go faster because people are limited because they don't want to wait for the time. So you know that's what when you get that kind of advice, you want to encourage the collective or whatever, just like they help encourage and give us advice. That's what I'm saying. People just it's difficult being down here. Like I said, that's why I know I'm alien to this world, and a lot of empaths, earth angels people are, but it's just like it bothers me on a whole nother level. I don't like being down here, and I know I'm heavily protected down here in the spiritual realm by my real family, but it's annoying. I don't like. Oh, like I said, it's just annoying. It's just real. People just do stuff, and it just leaves me in total like just like not confusion, but just kind of like I get turned off real fast or whatever on some of the stuff that people do. Just say anything until you do whatever they want. People they'll do certain things like that. It's walking up to somebody saying something disrespectful is totally different from me being on my platform speaking and spreading messages because you can always choose not to watch, especially if it's not directly towards you. So we'll just say that. And another thing I just want to say this: I don't get offended by people laughing at my posts or whatever. I get offended by writing my messages or whatever in the walls at the end of the hood that I stay at because it was a last minute move I just had to get or whatever months ago. But I get offended when I hear people laughing every post or whatever. That's like you doing your readings or something like that, and every time you say something you're reading, you hear a comment outside or somebody smack their lips or somebody laugh or something like that. So that's totally different. That's totally different from me just. I know there's a lot of people or whatever. I'm not gonna call them ignorant, but people that may laugh even when I'm not trying to be funny at the post. That's not true. That's not. People can think whatever they want to think, but you keep watching or whatever. So whether you being nosy, you keep watching. So that's the problem I have. People they just like I said, I don't do certain things or whatever. I'm finna stop kind of like responding to certain things too, or whatever, because it's kind of like how can I be a spiritual guru and I'm going back and forth, but the impact to me with impact rage. Just sometimes I have to just put people in their place and say something big, especially if I don't say nothing for a while and just keep building up. But I don't want to give people what they want, so just say that I'm just on my way home and just maturing more and learning more how to deal with people. The way that I'm living now is that the way that I'm kind of going and stuff to learn to be more calm is that whenever somebody does something unjust to me, when everybody says something, and I know that people are calling it out, especially when you read tarot and you don't talk to these people personally, and you can hear them calling stuff out that you're going through because they're watching, and the universe is watching, God is watching also. It's like I know if they see certain things, even if the ones who tell the truth, but even if they see certain things they calling out, then you know God sees it. And just in general, I know my Father sees it. So the way I'm gonna live from now on is to keep myself clear, is to just try to calm myself as much as I can, and not say nothing big, and just to know that God is in control and He's gonna pay the bet. That these people are just being tested on how they treat certain people, and I'm being tested on if I'm ready to go to the next level and advance it by being more mature and just trying to like start ignoring people. But like I said before, the way I am is like as passive and as nice as I am, I feel like people be trying to play with me or whatever, and that's why I have to sometimes switch it off and kind of let people know, I'm nice or whatever, and I'm kind-hearted, but I have another side to me, a true beast side or whatever that few people get to see or whatever. So we'll just say that. That's all I have to say for now.